Today I'm going to be taking you through some moments in Regular Show that if you were watching with your parents, they would probably make you turn it off. Regular Show was always a little bit edgy, meaning that it would push the boundaries on what could be shown on a kid show with the things that they would say, the things that they would do, and all the adult jokes that they would put in. But this results in some hilarious moments throughout the show, so I think it'd be fun to just, go through some of them and just relive our past of some really funny jokes that were made for adults put in this kid show. So yeah, if you like videos just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. At 20k, I'm going to be cosplaying as Benson and drinking the Mississippi Queen. And if you want a place where you can just talk about your favorite shows, movies, games, share art, give me video ideas, really just do whatever you want to do, my Discord will be in the description. It's a great place to hang out. So yeah, let's look at moments in Regular Show that if your parents were watching, they would make you turn it off.
Yo, Pops, I found your Mustache Monthly.
The first moment that I want to discuss is basically the entirety of the episode Brain Eraser. It's just infamous for being a little bit, out there for the things that they show, especially for a kid show, because the opening of this episode is literally Mordecai going to give Pops his magazine back, and he runs into naked Pops. And the amount of time that these two are just staring at each other while Pops is just going, oh no, Mordecai, get out of here, oh! And then they just keep on blocking their paths, and Mordecai's just like, and they're just staring, he's just staring at his junk mail. And then just what, helps to amplify the scene is Mordecai just going downstairs and Rigby, asking him what's going on. And Mordecai's like, I saw everything. And Rigby's just like, you saw his junk mail.
And he didn't have a towel.
Ooh,
I tried not to look and just give him the magazine, but I saw
his junk mail.
No, dude, I'm mentally scarred. It's like the image is glued to the inside of my eyelids. Every saggy, wrinkled, shriveled, pasty...
Whoa! Don't put it in my head.
His junk mail does this. It's a little bit out there for a kid's show, but it's really funny, and then Mordecai starts going into detail about every wrinkle, every divot, every single thing about it, and it's just so much, but I think it's honestly just so hilarious. And then just going on throughout the rest of the episode, it's just Mordecai just being in shock the entire time. There's a scene where he's just staring at this, cowboy standee, and he's just like, oh no, because he just can't get naked Pops out of his mind.
Whatever my friend's getting. I guess just these.
And this eventually leads to the end of the episode where they have to go inside of, whatever. I watch Planet Chaser Starlight Excellent all day, every day. They have to go inside of that tape. And they go inside of there. Mordecai's brain gets lost and they have to go in there and save him. And the only way to get rid of the memory is for them to try to wrap a towel around a running naked Pops.
What the...
Yeah, and Pops is just running like, oh, you can't catch me! And he's just running away from them, and they just have to try to put the towel on, and you can just see his bare, naked ass the entire time. It's honestly so hilarious, but I could definitely see if a parent was to walk in during this, they might be like, what the fuck are you watching, man?
Hey, Mordecai!
The next moment that I would like to discuss comes from the episode Slam Dunk, and in this episode, the funny thing is that somebody has to watch these before it gets greenlit. Like, somebody has to sit there and be like, yes, okay, this is okay for children under the age of 10 years old. But in this episode, it's Mordecai and Muscleman just, fighting over the computer rights because Mordecai wants to build a website for Margaret. And when Mordecai is losing in basketball, because that's the game that's going to decide who gets the computer rights, he's about to give up. But what do they decide to use as motivation for Mordecai? Yes, you would think, okay, they're just gonna show Margaret, just give him a little bonus, just draw her looking a little bit hot. Yeah, no. They do a super detailed image of her ass biking.
Thanks for helping me with the website.
No problem.
One of the most detailed images you could find in the entire show. It's going up, it's going down. I don't know who in their right mind would be like, yes, this is amazing for children. I'm so glad that all the kids need to see this high definition bird ass. It's gonna be so good for all those kiddos. If a parent walked in and saw this, they would be like, yeah, I don't know if my kids should be watching this.
Do you see them?
Not yet.
Hit the lights, it's almost 8 p.m.
This next one is from the episode Free Cake, and I mean, it's really simple, it's just a quote, but everything that they managed to do with it is hilarious, because they're trying to throw a surprise party for Skips, and Benson thinks that it's time, so he's just like, quick, hit the lights, and then Muscleman just, does this.
Whoa! Skips is gonna be so surprised when he comes in and sees us totally naked. It's not that kind of party, Muscleman. Oh. Don't turn on the lights.
Yeah, he just starts stripping and he's like, Skips is gonna be totally surprised when he comes in and sees us totally naked. It's just so funny. Why? Why would you do that? What in your right mind would make you do that? What were you gonna do to him anyway? Was it just gonna be a naked surprise, or were you gonna be getting down and jiggy with him? I don't know. Either way, I don't really think parents would maybe turn this off. Maybe some would, but I think that joke is just honestly so hilarious, so of course I'm gonna put it on here.
Skis balls. This will have to be a team effort. The faster we go, the more chances to throw the balls we get. So I want everyone to line up, and when the balls drop, when the game starts.
And then we got 2 moments from the episode Fuzzy Dice, and in this episode they're about to play skee ball, but it's also called skis balls, which, that has some other implications that I'm not really gonna get into, but that's kind of bad when you, dig deep into it. And then you also have the fact that, Benson is just discussing how to play skee ball, and Mordecai and Rigby laugh when he says, when the balls drop, which isn't really that harsh of a moment. I think it's hilarious, but some parents are just that on edge, that crazy, that if they heard when the balls drop and then the laughs from Mordecai and Rigby, they would probably lose their minds. But then we go later in the episode when they win the fuzzy dice, and they're about to, get that dice for Pops, make him so happy, so he can be like, oh, I got my fuzzy dice! The animatronic bear and all of his gang come to life and steal them, so they gotta go and fight them, and that's when they pull out a lot of guns, and you typically didn't see guns in cartoons at this time, you really did not. That was not usually a thing ever really shown, and, instead of just showing, maybe just a pistol, no, they showed every single gun you could possibly imagine in this crazy shootout.
Well then, I guess it's showtime!
Gun!
Where they're literally firing millions of bullets at these animatronics and exploding them with rocket launchers. To me, most epic thing you could ever watch as a child. To some parents, I could definitely see this crossing a line that they were not ready for. If they were expecting, some classic moments where SpongeBob is going to the salty Splatoon or something, and they just look at their child's TV and they see a bear getting shot with a minigun. Maybe they wouldn't like that. I personally think it's awesome.
Come on, dude, don't.
It's already in motion.
And then there's one of the greatest moments in all of regular show where this really solidified it as being different, especially for a lot of kids. It's in season 1, it's in Meet Your Maker, when Rigby decides that he's going to mess up all the hot dogs, burn them all, send them into the river. Well, Mordecai gets a little bit angry, but how does he express that? In a way that children and parents were not ready for, because he goes like this: it's already in motion. Boom! You pissed me off.
No, don't.
It's too late.
Come on, dude, don't.
It's already in motion.
Well, put it out of motion.
You pissed me off.
Nobody was ready for that. It was so bad that they even had to change it to "you ticked me off," which sounds absolutely horrible if you're watching any other versions of it. I hate it. "You pissed me off" fit that scene perfectly. It was edgy, it was just right, and I loved it. It doesn't push the boundaries too far, I feel like. I mean, saying pissed isn't really even that bad. I don't even understand what's the logic and what kids can and cannot hear. But I guarantee you there's at least one of you watching this video that your mom or dad heard that and they got very angry at you. So yeah, either way, I think it's pretty funny.
The Parkside Lux. This ballroom used to host the most elegant balls in its day.
And from the episode TGI Tuesday is this one moment before they're about to go into the ball. Benson is just describing the park ballroom and they ask, how big were the balls? Oh, these balls were huge!
Yep, the Parkside Lux. This ballroom used to host the most elegant balls in its day.
Whoa, Were they big?
These balls were huge.
Ow!
And Rigby gets punched and they just start laughing, and it's honestly just so hilarious. I really like when they could just throw in these jokes because, you know, talking about balls isn't really inappropriate for children, but when you do it and you have, you know, more than 3/4 of your frontal cortex working, you can analyze that joke and laugh at it. And as a kid, I was always laughing at this joke. It was just always so funny. God, I love it.
Come on! Come on!
And from the episode Baldspot, I don't know, I mean, it kind of just depends on the family that you're growing up with, if you can or cannot see this, and what they, like, deem as too much. Because, I mean, in this episode, Muscleman's going bald, so he needs to find a way to have Starla not be able to tell that he's actually bald, so he decides that he's just gonna flex his pecs like this up and down really fast, and, you know, just that entire, you know, visual is a bit weird, a bit uncomfortable.
Don't come in here, bro!
Dude, what happened?
I was trying to keep flexing, so I started punching and slapping them and stuff, and now they're going crazy!
And if a parent saw this, maybe they would question everything, question reality, question why they had a child in the first place. But honestly, I think it's pretty hilarious. He's just like, oh no, bro, they're not, I can't flex them anymore. And then he just starts punching and slapping them so they turn golden and are just going at the speed of light.
Mitch, you remembered our song.
How could I ever forget?
I personally think it's a hilarious visual, and if anybody had a parent that got mad at that, they need to lighten up a bit because it's honestly just so funny to just watch it go like, it's so good.
Hey, we're really gonna die if you don't do me that solid.
Fine, you win.
The next one's from the episode Do Me a Solid, and I mean, this isn't really that bad because it doesn't show it, but if a parent was watching this, it would probably give them a poor impression of the show, because I mean, at the end of the episode, Rigby's final solid for Mordecai to do is to literally take a shit on the floor.
I'll do it.
No, bro.
I mean, you can't say that it's anything else because he starts backing up, making dump truck noises, squats his ass down, and, you know, just takes a shit on the floor in front of the girl that he likes, his best friend, all of his co-workers. Rigby starts recording it. It's very apparent what he is doing there. So yeah, if a parent walked in and they, you know, were able to use a little bit of their brain to tell what was going on, they probably would be like, why are you watching this? Why is there a character taking a shit on the floor? What is going on? I don't know if I enjoy this show, little Jimbo. I don't know. Maybe you should go and watch, you know, VeggieTales. VeggieTales, yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
Dude time. For man.
What kind of loser would want a bunch of chicks tearing their clothes off?
Yes, in one of my least favorite episodes ever, The Unicorns Have Got to Go has many moments that are not appropriate for children. It's very apparent. I mean, you have the commercial for the Dude Time cologne, which is just a guy getting his clothes ripped off by women just for spraying some cologne on him. Yeah, I don't know if that's okay for children. It's not that bad. But then the unicorns show up when Mordecai sprays it because it doesn't actually attract the ladies. It attracts the corns. And so the unicorns show up, and they initially seem like they're gonna be cool until they make Mordecai literally drink semen. Yes, they call it unicorn slump.
But first you have to drink from the cup of knowledge.
Oh, sick! What was that?
It's definitely not unicorn slump.
Mordecai takes a sip, and yeah, they all start laughing, and it's very apparent what it is. Yeah, it's just not very good. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hidden though, so maybe most parents wouldn't really tell and wouldn't make you change the channel. But then you go further on in the episode, and Benson is tied up to a door like this, and the unicorns turn his knob and eat his gumballs.
Oh, you know this nerd? Check this out. What's the matter, Rigbone?
Yeah, that's a little bit much, you know. They're just chowing down on his balls. So I don't know. You be the judge if that's appropriate for children.
And because of that, I won't let you go without one last taste of your most favorite food.
Ah, Muscleman and Starla, oh, how they make out in front of the children, and how they do it in such dirty, dirty ways that you're just never ready for it, really. And in the episode Last Meal, I think it just, reaches its peak in how just disgusting and, weird that it could truly be, and that is in the end of the episode when Muscleman is about to die, but Starla's like,
Oh, Mitch, I won't let you go without trying your most favorite food.
and they just start making out in ways that I didn't even know was possible. It's honestly just so insane. Their lips are like interlocking as they're doing spins, and yeah, I don't know. It's very, very weird to watch.
Are people allowed to do that to each other?
It's just a bit much for me. I don't know. It's honestly just really disgusting, but I'm all for it. I guess it helps Muscleman win the hot dog eating contest, so at least it advances the plot. But man, do they kiss for a really long time.
Now, how in the H are we gonna fix this S?
And then in the very first episode of Regular Show, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but it's at least something, to mention. In this episode, Mordecai and Rigby get the power, and they could actually use it to, influence people's decisions. And in this case, they start singing a song to Skips because they don't want Skips to know about what they're doing, what they're using, and they just start going, don't look at our crotches while we synchronize our watches, and just point at their balls, and then go, boop, 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 boop.
5, 6, 7, 8. Using the power in your face, sending you back to your place. Don't look at our crotches while we synchronize our watches. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep, beep.
And yeah, it's just really funny. I mean, I don't really think it's that bad, but they are just pointing at their, genitalia, so maybe it could be a little harsh.
We tried it the nice way. Now we do it the Skips way.
And then we have a moment from the episode Rigby's Body, in which, they're fighting over Rigby's body, and the dude that's trying to take it gets knocked out and gets thrown into a slide, and then a kid slides down on him, and it just shows his cheeks, all the way, rolled up, his, pants, all the way rolled up, and you could just see his ass cheeks as he walks away, and the guy's just like, oh, my mouth was open.
Oh man, my mouth was open!
I think it's a really funny scene. I don't know, some people might have a problem with that, but I just think it's hilarious. I just, it's very deserving for that villain, and it fits the entire theme of the episode, so I would hope that most people would be okay with this joke.
So baby, let's just party tonight. Baby, let's just party tonight.
Now, this next one I'm including solely because as a kid it made me go what? What? That can't be! It's in the episode Mordecai and the Rigby is when Mordecai and Rigby, start playing their guitar and they're doing it super well, and Benson's just like, holy crap!
Holy crap!
Yeah, that moment made me as a kid go what? Can they say that? Can they? I can't believe it! It genuinely, shocked me because all the other jokes I had seen up to that point didn't really mean anything to me, but that one I knew, even at the age of 6 or 5 or however old I was, that one was shocking right there. That one tickled my giblets in the right way that made me go, I don't know if I should be watching this, but either way, it was honestly hilarious. I'm so glad that they had moments like that, and those moments honestly kind of faded as the show went on. I feel like in seasons 1 and 2, they were really trying to see what they could push, and then by seasons 3 all the way up to season 8, they had some jokes, but I feel like they just became content, which kind of sucks because I loved the moments where they would do stuff like this that is just so random, so out of the blue, but that just makes you genuinely question if this is a kid's show. I love it.
Yeah, see ya.
I can't believe you're going to a fist pump concert just for some lady pecs.
Rigby, one day you'll be old enough to understand the real reason that people go to concerts.
And then we're going to talk about some stuff from the episode Caffeinated Concert Tickets, and in this episode we get two things that are a bit pushing it a little bit. I mean, Mordecai talks about his love for lady pecs, which is very obvious what he's talking about, but I mean, he says it in a way that probably wouldn't even make anybody glance because of how casual it is, I feel. I mean, saying that you're in love with lady pecs doesn't from afar really sound too bad unless you're focusing, so I'm gonna, just kind of push that one off to the side. But the thing that would make make parents really question what's actually happening is later on in the episode when Coffee shows up, and he's all like, we can help you get those tickets, and Rigby's like, oh, a contract, let's sign it. And the coffee bean just looks at him and goes, coffee, oh, and just starts squirting coffee out of his nipples. Coffee. Yeah, that might make a parent question, a little bit of stuff going on. I think it's so funny. One of the most memorable scenes out of all 8 seasons is just this giant coffee bean squirting coffee out of his nipples. It's all I really needed, and it makes one of these episodes just one of my favorite in the entire series. I love it.
What are you doing?
Calling Party Pete.
And then from the episode Party Pete, we have a moment with Muscleman, which is a infamous quote that isn't allowed in many countries. It's just Muscleman saying that it takes guests with breasts and mine don't count.
It takes guests with breasts, and mine don't count.
Which is a very obvious, quote that's saying that they need chicks there, and his boobs don't count, he needs some real tits. So, yeah, that's a pretty interesting thing to say. And if that didn't push your parent over the edge, maybe later on in the episode when Party Pete is like losing his mind and is just going around dry humping a bunch of women. Yeah, really funny imagery, but still, pushing it a little bit.
Benson's gonna drop his balls when he sees how good we set up these chairs.
And then from the episode Just Set Up the Chairs, you have the great moment where Mordecai and Rigby are setting up the chairs, and Rigby in confidence says that Benson is gonna drop his balls when he sees how good we're gonna set up these chairs.
Benson's gonna drop his balls when he sees how good we set up these chairs. He's gonna be all like,
oh no, my gumballs.
Yeah, I don't know how things are allowed like this. I don't know, what Cartoon Network is doing at the time. I feel like they were very strict about stuff like this, and they're just like, let's let it roll for regular show, which I'm all for. And then later on in the episode, if that wasn't enough for you, then you go to this clown who is very clearly hungover and drunk and is the special entertainment. He literally walks out of the apartment and beer cans just funnel out, and he, throws up in his mouth a little bit.
Oh, it's right.
You know who likes special entertainment like that? My mom!
You know who else likes special entertainment like that? My mom! Yeah, that was great. Enjoyed it a lot. But, I don't think any of this is pushing over the edge, at least not too much.
Hey, you know what would go good with these sandwiches? Funny internet videos.
And in the episode Grilled Cheese, I'm really noticing almost all of these are from season 1, but in the episode Grilled Cheese Deluxe, Benson gets his Grilled Cheese Deluxe stolen, and Mordecai and Rigby are just sitting there watching some stuff on the computer, and Rigby's like, dude, I'll show you something really cool, and Mordecai's like, it better not be the ostrich thing with the balls. He's like, no, dude, okay, but if it's the ostrich thing with the balls, I'm gonna be upset. And then it's the ostrich thing with the balls, and it's just a ostrich kicking a dude in the balls.
Ready yet?
it's loading. Okay, now!
Don't get too close now, Pop.
Man, it's ostriching with the balls!
Yeah, that's really funny. It's just wild just how open they are about it, because I feel like you're not supposed to talk about, you know, balls and shit in a kid's cartoon, but they're just so open about it. They don't even hide the fact that that's what they're talking about, and the dude just gets hit in the nuts, and it's so funny. It's so good.
Naked? Yeah. Okay.
And then from the episode Dizzy, it's going to be Pops, and he's just struggling immensely with the fact that he has to give a speech. So Mordecai and Rigby are like, why don't you just picture everybody naked? And he just looks down and stares at their already naked bodies, and he's like, I don't like this.
I just don't think I can do it. Hey, I know. Why don't you just picture everybody naked? Naked? Yeah. Okay. I don't like to.
And I don't know, it's not that bad of a scene, but I still think it's really funny, so I'm gonna include it nonetheless. I mean, it just showcases the fact that Mordecai and Rigby are constantly naked and actually draws attention to the fact that they're naked.
Your party walks down a long hallway and reaches a locked door. What do you do?
And then from the episode But I Have Her Seen, it's just Muscleman role-playing about what he could possibly do in this. And he's just like, ooh, Muscleman, stop pinching my butt with your war claw. And it's just...
I smash it open with my war claw. Then a bunch of ladies come out and they're all, ooh, Muscleman, quit pinching my butt with your war claw.
so funny. It's not that bad, but I mean, he is talking about pinching some ass, so maybe it wouldn't be okay for some parents, but I think it's hilarious. It just, it adds so much to that scene. It's just one of the funniest moments in that episode.
Do not worry. I will take care of you now.
And then I wanted to include at least one death on this list. I wasn't going to include a lot of deaths because, I mean, you could say a ton of deaths in regular show are not okay for parents because some of the things they do are extreme. I mean, I'll take people exploding. People explode in a lot of cartoons for no apparent reason. I mean, SpongeBob at one point had characters explode in almost every single episode, and then they're just, you know, fine in the next scene. But one scene in regular show that always stood out to me as being a bit too realistic and too graphic with the death was the death in Fancy Restaurant, and that being Mater D, when he gets tripped, falls out a window, and it just pans to his corpse sitting there lifeless.
And let's get out of here.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is hilarious that they actually just pan to his lifeless corpse going like, like that was funny. I enjoyed it. But it's probably one of the most, like, realistic times I've seen somebody die in the show when it wasn't them exploding, their head exploding or whatever. He genuinely just got tripped, fell out a window, and you just see his corpse planted on top of a car. Yeah, that's pretty wild. If a parent saw that and they were expecting, you know, some silly, like, learning show or something, yeah, this wouldn't be it. That would be a bit too extreme. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I hope all your days are going well. I hope my video made your day a little bit better. You know, maybe you just had it on in the background while you were doing some chores, driving, or whatever. Well, don't watch my video while driving. But maybe you just had it on while you're just existing, and I could appreciate that. Or maybe you watched the entire thing because you thought it was pretty funny. Hey! But either way, thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of you, especially those who stick around for my ramblings at the end. Yeah, I'm just really thankful. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.